Okay, we were gonna, it's been like 20 minutes or something. We were gonna sneak out with Nornus, right? Covered and hidden, we move among the crowd as if we were a part of it. No one is paying attention, at least not much. This is probably the most dangerous thing I've done so far. My heart can't catch a break. Every single corner is suspicious. Every glance could mean a death sentence. Yet I'm doing it. I'm wandering around the market amongst the people of Yule, undercover. Somehow, I still vaguely remembered how I got here last time. It's the most exhilarating situation I've experienced. It feels like I'm free. Keep your hood on, I warn Nornus. Nornus fixes his hood and makes sure nothing is showing from underneath his large cloak. We stand out like a sore thumb among the mass of Gaut natives. Nornus with his pale blue skin and me being just a regular human. We do not fit in with the rest. God damn it, my cat wants to come in. It was not my cat. But no one is really paying attention to us. Everyone is busy with their own business and aren't interested in two hooded figures. Got your water? I ask, looking back at Nornus. Nornus taps the small flask on the side of his hips, hidden underneath his cloak. That's just, I think in my previous thumbnail screenshots, I've always just used the love interest, but this is so fucking long, and we're in the same place for such a long time, that I don't think I can do that this time. All prepared. Good, he needs water for his condition in case it acts up. Being stranded in a desert with no water would not be the best situation for him. I cough into my hand a few times. Nornus offers me the flask. Here, drink some. Sometimes the dust gets in your lungs. I shake my head. I'm fine. Keep it for yourself. Oh, do you smell that? Nornus suddenly chimes in. As a matter of fact, I do smell something delicious. I think it's coming from one of the stalls over there, I say, pointing at a particular market stall. Our feet gravitate towards the savoury scent until we see what's causing it. A gout is frying some strange vegetables mixed with a type of grain and meat in a large circular pan. It reminds me of paella. Is that how you say that? Paella? Paella. Paella. Whatever. It was a conversation that I had not long ago. What with the golden hue and smell. Want some Yaveris? That'll be 30 Kulden for one, says the shopkeeper once he notices us. Confused, I look at Nornus and I whisper to him, how much is 30 Kulden? Nornus looks inside the small pouch that was given to me by James from before. He takes out a few gems and hands it over to the shopkeeper. We'll take 2, please. Coming right up. I hug the cape closer to my body and smile at Nornus. He seems to be enjoying himself, eagerly awaiting his meal. I have to admit, I'm also quite curious myself. The shopkeeper hands us 2 bowls of steaming hot Yaveris, complete with wooden spoons. We stand to the side away from the crowd as we inhale its scent. Nornus is right, the street food is really different from the kind that's prepared in the palace. Have you ever had this before? I ask Nornus. Absolutely not, but I'm excited to try it, he says in a chipper voice. We dig in. I take a spoonful in my mouth. The grain is crunchy but light, breaking down into small crumbs. The vegetables are also crunchy and have this earthy taste to them. It's a little bitter too, but it's actually really delicious. I grin at Nornus, seeing his own smile on his face. It's good, right? Nornus takes another bite in response. Yes, it is. It's so different and honestly a little too crunchy, but I like it. Seeing him be so happy about tasting new food is worth the risk of leaving the palace. Besides, it feels good to move about without anyone telling me where I can or cannot go. I thought James breathing down my neck. I giggle when I notice Nornus has a few pieces of grain stuck on the side of his mouth. What is it? He asks, slightly confused by my laughter. I step closer to him with a small smile. He stares at me with wide eyes from underneath his hood. I stick out my thumb and wipe the corner of his mouth, removing the grain. He stammers, shyly looking away. You had some food right there, I say. Nornus timidly wipes the rest of his mouth. Oh, I was just a little too excited to eat it. Can't blame you, this is delicious. Happily, I go back to eating from my bowl. When we finish our food, we continue to our exploration of the market. The streets are so crowded, Nornus points out. I've never seen this many gout before. Well, I've never seen gout before I arrived a little while ago, I joke. Nornus giggles. I guess that's true. My eyes spy a market stall in the distance selling some pottery. Look, Prince Nornus, I think they sell some pots over there, I say while pointing. Really? Then let's go. I can't stay outside for too long after all. Yes, we can't stick around here all day. Someone is bound to notice our absence. Our plan was to simply buy a suitable pot for Nornus's plant, then return as soon as possible. When we arrive at the stall, Nornus' eyes start to twinkle. He eagerly inspects each piece of pottery with his childlike amazement. Finally, he picks one up that is rectangular in shape, with tribal-like etched carvings on the outside. This one is just the right size. Do you want to buy that one? I ask. I hope we have enough money for it. The shopkeeper looks at us with a smile. For you, my prince, it is free. It is an honor to have you visit my wares. Ooh, that's sus. That's sus. She's part of the rebellion. Nornis pulls the hood across his face some more, looking shifty and nervous. I think you've mistaken me. I'm just a traveller, he murmurs. I'm on high alert as well. No one was supposed to find out Nornis's identity. I figured most people wouldn't recognize him because he said he never went outside, but I guess I was wrong. The shopkeeper's smile never leaves. All right, my fair traveller, then as a token of Kulul's hospitality, you can have that one for free. There's subtext behind their words. They're playing along. Relief washes over me. They're not going to rat us out. Or are they? Are you sure? Nornis asks, hesitant to take something for free. Just make sure you pay next time, the shopkeeper laughs. And just like that, Nornis found his pot. If they really did take over this place, then surely, yeah, the rebellion is because Veritas took over the place, I assume. I tug on his arm. We should head back now. Can't stick around for too long. Right, he says, hiding the pot underneath his cloak. There's no way our visit outside went unnoticed. Now to make our way back to the palace before anyone notices we're gone. But just as luck would have it, my eyes noticed something familiar in the distance. Red hair. It was just a quick glance before it disappeared in the crowd. I stand frozen on the spot. Gout don't have hair. Did I just imagine it? No, I have really good eyesight. Prince Nornis, I say in a low whisper. What is it? Mind taking a small detour? I think I saw something. Oh? He questions me. I start moving through the crowd with Nornis trailing behind. Suddenly I'm on another mission. I just have to find out if what I saw was really bilious. He said he needed to do something else yesterday, hence why he gave me the day off. But I'm pretty sure that he can't leave the palace either. Princess Valkii, what do you see? Nornis asks, curious as to why I'm scrambling to get past all these Gout. The crowd thins out and we arrive at the area where I saw the small glimpse of red hair. I look around for any other clues, but I don't see anything suspicious. I think I lost him. Well, shit. It's probably not the best time to be trying to follow someone else when you should be getting back home. Princess, what is it? What are you looking for? I think I saw Healer Bilious, I admit. What, really? Then we should say hi, he says, not realizing that we're supposed to be undercover. Wait, no, we shouldn't say any. Excuse me, have you seen someone with red hair pass by? Nornis asks a bystander. The Gout simply throws his thumb over his back, pointing down an alley. Went into the screaming howl over there, he answers. Thank you so much, Nornis bows politely. Well, I'll be damned. I wasn't just seeing ghosts. It was Bilious, or at least someone with red hair. Nornis turns to look at me. Look, Princess Valkii, now we know where Healer Bilious went. Come on. Prince Nornis, please remember we can't let anyone know we're out here, I warn him. That's true, but Healer Bilious won't tell anyone. He's always so attentive and careful with me. I'm sure he can keep a secret. Oh, he's keeping secrets all right, and now I have to find out if it was really him. We both rush over towards the building hidden in an alley with a large sign outside. Nornis confirms it reads Screaming Howl before we enter. Apparently this chapter has a CG in it, so I'm looking forward to that. It's very dark inside, just like the pubs back on Earth. In fact, I think it is a pub when I see everyone seated around a table drinking some kind of beverage. The Gout behind the counter addresses us. Hey, invitation only, he barks at us. I flinch in response, causing my hoodie to fall off. I stutter. I saw my friend go in here. He has red hair. He inspects me for a little while before answering. I feel like I'm going through security at an airport. Another one, eh? You all look the same to me. Your friends are in a back. He throws his head into the direction of a small area with a divider. Thank you, Nornis replies for me as I'm too shocked to respond. We walk towards the back and I can feel my heartbeat drum in my ears. Are we going to find Bilious behind the divider? What will he say? Right as I'm about to walk around the divider, I hear a voice that makes me freeze on the spot. That means our suspicions were correct? Asks the voice. I don't know who this is. I instantly grab Nornis's cloak and drag him over to another table, keeping our heads low. Nornis looks at me all bewildered. That voice belongs to Eok. Oh, Eok. Yes, I confirmed it multiple times after running the tests. That's Bilious. Eok, yeah, has been acting dumb, right? We kind of got a glimpse of that when he like changed the way he speaks. Why are we hiding? Nornis asks softly. He looks a little nervous. Please stop talking, I tell him. I throw my hoodie back on and strain my neck to be able to look around the divider. It's blocking my view, but it's enough for me to see the person sitting in the middle, or at least part of their hair. Lana's hair. I swallow as my mind goes into overdrive. Why is she there? Why are they all there? What the hell did I stumble into? So our little prince is hiding more than he's letting on, Lana drawls out. Little prince? Are they talking about Caleb, or... I look at Nornus, who's trying his best to not talk. Eok is the one who replies, but his voice, no, his vocabulary is completely different. He's the leader of the rebellion, isn't he? Then, Princess, what would you like us to do to proceed? Surely he is the one who... We can decide that on a later date. He's always holed up in his garden anyway. He's not going anywhere. The little prince will receive his punishment eventually. Nornus shrinks into himself as he realizes they're talking about him. Did she just say punishment? Are they trying to harm Nornus? As you wish, Princess, Eok concedes. Now that we've got that confirmed, we have to focus on getting our men past the border. I hope this doesn't result in another explosion like last time, says Bilius. It had to be done, Lana answers. The explosion, they were behind it. We have some supporters who work as gatekeepers. Would you like me to make arrangements? Offers Eok in a calm voice. Yes, be quick about it. I barely have time to process that Lana is talking about the rebels when I realize someone has gotten up from their table and is walking over towards us. They're going to spot and recognize us. I scramble to get up, pulling Nornus along. My heart stops when I see Eok stare straight into my eyes, immobilizing me. Fuck. Princess? Eok says, flabbergasted. What is it, Eok? Lana calls out instead. Eok is so surprised to see us here. It's taken a moment for him to gather his wits. I've caught them red-handed. They're conspiring. They're the rebels, and I just walked into the lion's den unarmed. I have to do something before they do something to us. Without thinking, I grab Eok's wrist and pull him away from view of everyone else, bewildered as he's about to say something, but I place my hand over his mouth, silencing him. Mouth to him, don't tell her. I remove my hand and stare at him. Please, please don't rat us out. Eok looks conflicted, his jaw grinding down on his sharp teeth. Eok, Lana calls out again, this time more alert. I look at him, pleading with my eyes. Eok turns away from me. Nothing, Princess. I stuff my foot on the table. Well, get a move on. Before I can take a breather, he quickly starts moving. Come with me, quietly. I guess I wasn't going to get off easy after all. I beckon Nornus to follow as we quietly shuffle out of the screaming howl with Eok leading the way. My mind is racing. We've stumbled across the rebels, and I'm shocked to find out who is involved. There were a few others in the same corner, some I didn't recognize, but Lana, Bilius, Eok? Eok, I call out to him. He hasn't said a word, merely striding through the various back alleys. Keep your hood on, he hisses at me. Frightened, I clasp the hood tighter together so I'm fully covered. I look over at Nornus to see him do the same thing. He hasn't made a peep since we got caught. Eventually, Eok leads us to another alley, away from prying eyes. We stop to rest. Eok immediately slams me against the wall, pushing his arm against my neck. I shriek out loud in response, afraid of what he might do to me. How did you find us? Who are you working for? Nornus throws his pot against Eok's head, causing it to shatter. Let her go! Eok stumbles backwards, holding onto his head. We don't know what's going on. We found you by accident, I say quickly, jumping over towards Nornus' side. Eok, why are Princess Lana and Bilius talking about that explosion? Why are... Silence, he barks at me. No, my only friend, he hates me now. This is not the Eok I know. I don't know who this is. Aggressive, jumpy, and his entire speech pattern is different. Let me think. Then his eyes shoot open as if he's realized something. He lunges towards me and I brace myself, thinking he'll hurt me. Instead, he grabs my arm and pulls it out from underneath the cloak. His eyes travel up and down until he pulls out the other arm to check it out as well. Not there, he mumbles. He's talking about my tracker. I took it off, I say. So our location hasn't been compromised yet, he continues to talk to himself. I don't know what's going on. Were you all talking about me in there? About some sort of, Nornus gulps, punishment? How did you escape the palace? Eok asks, ignoring Nornus. I bite down on my lips. I have no other choice. I saw Princess Lana use a secret exit before when she thought no one was looking. Eok bites down on his thumb. The south exit. His eyes are back on me. You followed her? I shake my head. No, I wanted to go out on my own. I didn't tell anyone. My eyes meet him. I won't tell anyone, I stress, trying to bargain. Tell anyone? He repeats as he straightens his back. Princess, you're not understanding your situation here. You're not telling anyone because... He takes a threatening step closer. I can't let you return. He looks at Nornus, same for the prince. We promise not to tell. We can keep a secret if you can, says Nornus, looking scared. I stand in front of Nornus to protect him. Look, whatever we saw or heard today, no one has to know. Just let us go, I say. I can't do that, is his quick response. Eok sighs exasperatedly, shaking his head in disappointment. Why did it have to be you? You've put me in a predicament. Nornus suddenly yelps loudly when he's pulled back by someone. A soldier yanks off Nornus's hood, revealing his bright hair and pale skin. I knew it! It's the prince! He was in the screaming howl! The soldier barks loudly. Let me go! Nornus tries to struggle free. Our leader will be pissed to find the young prince in our hands. Oh, pleased to find the young prince in our hands. Good work, Eok. Eok just stands there with large eyes, not expecting a third party to come crashing in. I have fun taking my revenge on you, the soldier laughs, twisting Nornus's arms. Something in me takes over. My fight or flight instincts decided then and there I'm fighting. I need to protect. I lunge towards the shards lying on the ground from Nornus's broken pot. I roll over and grip it tightly in my hand as I dash towards the soldier and slash his hand, drawing blood. Ah! The soldier screams, letting go of Nornus. Run! I yell at him. Princess, no! Eok calls out and tries to follow. Except I conjure up a thread and quickly wrap it around his ankles, causing him to faceplant down onto the ground with a grunt. So I'm guessing that the what was it called? The festival was a Yule thing. And that's why everyone was like so enamored with it, and why Eok took like such pride in it and managed to do everything like really well, and why he seemed so different. And Veritas doesn't care about it because he doesn't care about Yule, he cares about his brother, I guess. Did I read this? Nornus is running ahead, dust kicking up everywhere. I want to follow, but the other soldier pulls me back by my cloak, nearly choking me. Quick, take it off, take it off! I fumble around trying to unfasten the cloak. It's slipped off, except he's already grabbed my arm. Nornus stops running to turn around when he notices I'm not following him. Who is this? The soldier questions, seeing me for the first time. Princess! Nornus has turned around and stopped running once he's noticed I wasn't following. Yeah, he said that already. You said that already. Nornus, just run! I yell. Shut up! The soldier flings me against the wall, knocking the air out of my lungs. I fall down in a heap of limbs, temporarily stunned. My back hurts. It's such a paralyzing pain. I can barely focus at all. All I see is the soldier running after Nornus. Don't touch her! Nornus widens his stance. He opens his mouth to scream, but something so unnaturally high-pitched exits. I'm not sure what it is. It's making my ears ring. Then he starts to glow like a bright light. The wind howls around us, gathering near Nornus like he's sucking it all up like a vortex. No, he's taking all the water out of the air. The walls around us start breaking from the wind's strength. A window pane shatters from the force. The soldier in front of me is pushed back by all the wind. I can barely recognize Nornus since he's glowing so bright. Ah! I shriek when I get slashed across my cheek. Then I get another cut on my arm. A line of red blood immediately appears. It's impossible to see what's cutting me. I'm so confused. Nornus! I yell out to him. He's got to stop this. I take a step forward, narrowing my eyes to protect against the wind. I got hit again, this time on my shin. The wind gathers faster and faster. Nornus is now just a glowing ball of white. Princess! Eok screams, finally breaking my thread apart and running to my side. I'm blinded by a flash of light. I don't know what's going on, but one moment I'm in an alley, the next Eok has kicked down a door and tossed us both inside, to barely escaping the barrage of lashings. The walls around us crash and crumble. Eok's thrown his body across me to protect me from any falling debris. Oh, he still likes me. When the ceiling threatens to cave in, Eok pulls me outside once more, just fast enough to escape being crushed to death. I stumble around on my feet, completely bewildered by what happened. I turn my head to look at Nornus. He's on the ground. A loud shriek leaves my mouth when I see the other soldier in front of me as well, or what's left of him. I turn around, my stomach churning at the blood splatters everywhere. He's been cut into a million pieces. Keep it together, keep it together. Are you hurt anywhere? Can you still walk? Eok finally asks me, checking my body. Just a few scrapes, I say breathlessly. Eok looks worse off for protecting me. But Nornus! I tear myself away from Eok and run towards the small body lying on the ground. I try to ignore the way my feet sink into the blood and how the stench fills up my nose. Suck it up, Valkii. Don't freak out now. I've got to check on him. Nornis, talk to me, I say desperately, leaning down next to him and grabbing his face. His eyes are closed, but he's still breathing. Water, yes, he probably needs water. I quickly search under his cloak for the flask of water. Removing the cap, I position it on his lips, tipping it over. Please, drink some. Water drips down his parched lips into his mouth. He's not responding. Flask is knocked out of my hand when a gust of wind settles near me. I scramble to fetch it from the ground, near someone's feet. I look up. Caleb has landed in front of me. It doesn't take long for the other brother to touch down. Shit. Eok is nowhere to be seen either. Finally taking in the situation, Caleb's eyes grow wide when he sees me near Nornis's immobile body. Get away from the prince! Caleb roars and knocks me away from Nornis without a care. Not caring I've been tossed aside, I look up at him. Please, he needs what? My words get swallowed when James lifts me up by my arm. What were you thinking? Putrid mother's nutsack. That was literally the most brainless and moronic stunt you could have pulled. He needs to see healer Bilius, Caleb announces and then flies off into the distance with Nornis in his arms. But Bilius isn't... You lost your right to speak. James picks me up and grabs me by my waist. He launches us into the sky. It's impossible to get a word in. Even if someone did listen to me, would they believe me? I was found over Nornis's unconscious body outside of the palace. I might as well have plunged a knife into him. So here I am, on my knees, bound and gagged. Caleb lands beside us, addressing James, who's been keeping guard. Healer Bilius isn't in the infirmary. That wretched sack of past dung. No one is where they should be today. James sounds infinitely pissed off. That's because he's not at the palace, he's at the Screaming Howl. Does James know about everyone, conspiring against Nornis and probably Veritas too? Not like I can say anything. It wasn't supposed to go like this today. I just wanted a quick trip to the market, have a fun time with Nornis, and return in time before anyone noticed we were gone. That's all. The doors of the palace open, an envoy of soldiers appear, and in the middle, a furious-looking Veritas. He's descending the stairs. I am a dead woman. I try to speak, but the gag prevents me from saying anything comprehensible. Shut your mouth hole. Nothing you will have to say will matter now, James warns me. You answer to Lord Veritas now. I warned you, Princess. I told you this would happen. I know you did. That doesn't stop the extreme fear from filling up the core of my body. I've been dancing around the edge of death all this time, pushing boundaries wherever I could. I quickly noticed how far I could go without being punished. But this does not look good for me at all. I haven't even harmed Nornis, but he's not here to vouch for me. Eok has mysteriously disappeared, and I doubt anyone else back at the Screaming Howl would speak up for me. I am royally fucked. Veritas has finally arrived. His body language is composed, but I can see the fury in his eyes. Smack. I'm rattled as I feel a hotness sting my cheek, right where I was cut from the wind before. He's whipped me with a vine. I didn't even see him conjure it, nor swing his arm. It was too fast. Oh damn, it burns. Visiting, speaking, and then you kidnapped him. His voice is chillingly soft. Didn't kidnap him. Another whiplash hits me across the other cheek, drawing blood this time. Ugh, this really stings. The pain is making it hard to think straight. I shall have you executed, Veritas roars. He pulls back his arm, and my eyes widen in paralyzing fear. My life flashes before me. I'm not going to see Eric ever again. My lord, James cuts in. We need the Earthling Princess for our negotiations, he explains. Veritas doesn't strike me, but remains in position. Please, oh please, listen to James. Let me return to Earth. He seems to think it over for a while, the silence almost suffocating. Who says she needs to be in one piece? He drawls out. No, definitely all in one piece. James stands in front of me, then kneels before Veritas, bowing his head low. Lord Veritas, the Earthling was my responsibility, so I will take her punishment instead. Wait, what? Veritas glares at James beneath him. I can't believe he's doing this. Captain Caleb, says Veritas. Yes, my lord. Are you in agreement with this settlement? No, Lord Veritas. I believe the Earthling should be executed for her crimes on the spot. My eyes grow wide in response. He wants me killed. We need the Earthling, James stresses, his gaze still focused on the ground in front of Veritas. The planet is too precious to give up all of our bargaining chips. Veritas extends his hand towards Caleb, offering the vine whip. Then accept the punishment in her stead by Captain Caleb's hand. Yes, Lord Veritas, James agrees. You don't stop until he's on the brink of death, Veritas hisses. Caleb accepts the vine and bows in front of Veritas. Then he cracks it and turns to James, still kneeling down. Face her. I want her to look you in the eye, the person who nobly decided to sacrifice himself, Veritas taunts. Remove your robe, Veritas instructs. James twists his body until he's facing me, removing the black robe he's wearing. There's no sense of hesitation or fear on his face. It's just blank. He's accepted this. A life for a life, he murmurs in a soft voice that only I can hear. The first lash comes out of nowhere, startling me. The crack of the whip was so loud it tore right through James's armor. Another crack. Blood splatters into the air. James didn't even blink. Caleb continues his barrage of attacks, flogging James's back without a break. Then James's expression finally begins to change. He's wincing slightly with each strike. His chest is heaving up and down due to his elevated heartbeat. The extreme circumstance I am under is heightening my senses. It makes everything appear in perfect clarity. The sight before me is barbaric. I can't watch. I turn my head away. No, don't you dare look away, James grunts in between the flogging. That is the least you can do. I bite down on my lips, tilting my face towards him, my eyes slowly landing upon his body. Caleb's flogging isn't as fast as Veritas's, but this is so long and downright brutal. This is your brother. How could you do this to him? But most importantly, why is James doing this for me, offering himself to bear my punishment? Sitting there, kneeling, beaten to a bloody pulp, all because I ventured outside and took Nornis with me. My actions have consequences, and despite James taking the fall for it, I still have to face it. So I look into James's brown eyes, watching how he grunts and grinds down on his teeth, each beating taking a toll on him. He's right. It's the least I can do. For a split second, I see him as his eyes flicker that hazy light blue. James's face contorts as he bears the brunt of Caleb's lashings, but he's not screaming. He's not toppling over. With one particular lash of the whip, James breaks formation, falling down onto both his knees, his hands on the ground, bracing himself, but he still maintains eye contact with me. Man, this is romantic. A little bit. But maybe I'm just fucked up. This is terrifying, even if I'm not the one being flogged. It's so hard to watch, I want it to stop. Veritas is in the background, watching everything unfold with cold and calculating eyes. There's no sense of emotion behind them. Another crack in the whip, and it's cut right on the back of James's neck, blood trickling down. Then James's eyes turn blue once more. The markings on his face appear as well. He's wincing, his eyes losing focus. This is actually worse than the first time. Caleb isn't stopping until James is passed out on the ground. I avert my eyes to check out Caleb's expression, but it's completely emotionless as well. It's like he doesn't care he's beating his brother. Look at me, James grunts loudly when he's noticed I've changed the direction of my focus. Strangely enough, I do meet his gaze once more, but I don't want to. It's unnerving. I feel so damn guilty. I want it to stop. And it continues. And continues. The longer it goes on, the less energy James has left to focus. His eyes are rolling in the back of his head. His back is split open, completely soaked with blood. I don't know how much more of this he can take. Then, he's finally become unresponsive. His eyes are closed and his arms are hanging by his side completely limp. The markings on his skin fade away. But Caleb continues. I try to speak. Stop, he's passed out. This stupid gag, these ropes around my wrists, I can't do anything. This might actually kill him. Please stop. Don't let him die on my account. Caleb delivers another powerful blow and James's body doesn't even flinch anymore. I can't tell whether he's dead or not, but I can't stand it. All I see is suffering in front of me and I want it to stop. My hands glow hot and warm, my fingertips stretching and flexing until I've conjured threads from all my fingers. They slice right through the rope binding my wrists together. Oh, we're getting the CG. Good CG. Beautiful. It's beautiful. It's really captured the moment. I break free. I don't even think, I just lunge forwards to grab James's face in my hands. I pull him close to my body and wrap my arms around him in a protective manner, shielding him from the next incoming lash. Everything inside of me is simply screaming to make it stop. To protect. Crack. Caleb hits my arm instead. It stings so badly. Blood is already dripping from my open wound. It sends a tremor throughout my body that it rattles my brain, temporarily stunning me. He finally stops. Princess, what do you think you're doing, interfering with my work? He sounds so vile and offended. I try to make some noise through the gag, but it's impossible. I'm already relieved to feel James's breath on my neck. At least he's still alive. The captain passed out, says one of the soldiers, noticing James hasn't moved this entire time. Ah, is that so? Caleb pulls back the whip. Veritas doesn't say a word and simply turns around.
Oh.
Lock her up, he says before ascending the stairs with his army of soldiers. Caleb bows in front of Veritas' back, then turns to me. I rest my head against James's, closing my eyes. It's finally over. It's much colder here. Shivers have taken over my body. I'm aching all over. I was thrown in this cell yesterday, but after waking up today, I feel feverish and weak. I clumsily stitched my own arm from the wound Caleb gave me. I cough a few times and huddle my legs to my body for warmth. I don't know what's going to happen to me. My vision has become blurry. It's hard to tell what's going on. Then my cell door opens. A blurry figure enters. Oh, it's Bilius. Princess Valkii, says the voice belonging to Bilius. It's him. What are you? I try to speak, but it takes such effort that I end up spending all my energy and have to take a break. Don't speak. I'm here to deliver a message, he whispers. From? I drawl out. Don't breathe a word of what you saw or heard yesterday to anyone, and you might just get out of here alive. I groan and throw my head back against the brick wall, as if that's like her issue right now. Bilius pauses, unsure whether I heard him or not. Then his cold hands are on my wrist, checking my pulse. Elevated heartbeat, feverish cheeks, above average temperature. Princess, it seems your body is fighting a virus. I try to snort. I try and snort. No shit, I have a fever. But I struggle and let out a weird squeak instead. I believe you may have caught the rickety virus. Very common among gout, but they deal with it rather well. I'm unsure what toll it will take on your earthling body. That sounds comforting. Where's Nornus? Is he okay? Did you hurt him? I finally gather enough energy to ask the questions that have been burning in my mind. A stretch of silence draws between us. I cough several times. The prince is safe and alive. That is all you need to know. But you were all, I take in a deep breath, conspiring against him. I'll have some medicine delivered to your cell to help with the virus, along with a lot of water. Hopefully, you'll manage to control it. He didn't answer my question. Then he suddenly leans in closer. We are not the enemy here, princess, he whispers in my ear. Please forgive any transgressions. He pulls away his hot breath. What a weird sentence. Take care, Princess Valkii of planet Earth. He turns around and exits the cell. Those sounded a lot like parting words. I wake up disoriented when someone brushes the sticky hair out of my face. I've been sweating in my sleep. How many days has it been? Drink, says a scraggly voice. It's Eok. Eok? It's so hard to focus. My head hurts. My body aches. Take the medicine. You have to see your home again before you die. Something touches my lips and I open up. Eok is helping me drink. It's bitter, just like the saffron tea. Rest. I love Eok. I close my eyes, feeling too weak to stay awake. It's hard to keep track of time when I'm going in and out of consciousness. The fever has broken, so at least that has improved, but I still feel absolutely terrible and weak. Someone enters my cell but doesn't speak. My vision is still blurry, and I'm almost starting to accept this sickness has affected my eyesight. The shadowy figure sits next to me without a word. A flask pushes against my lips. Water and medicine again. I don't object and drink it all. The figure leaves without speaking, and I fall back asleep. That was James, like 100%. A soldier enters my cell. It's been a while since someone directly came in after I had recovered from my sickness. Still some coughing here and there, but my vision is back and I'm not aching all over anymore. He takes me by my arm. We go. Huh? Go where? He doesn't say a word and drags me out. I can't remember the last time I felt the sun's rays hit my face. It feels like it's been forever since I was outside. There's an army of soldiers all lined up in front of the grand staircase, protecting Veritas. Why is James's hair grown? James and Caleb are among them. Oh, James's hair has grown longer. How long we in there for? Like, what the hell? He looks, well, same as always, to be honest. I haven't seen him since I got tossed in the cell, which was a while ago. James doesn't look over my way at all, his eyes trained on Veritas. The trip to HX-108. I won't accept anything but success, says Veritas in a low voice. Captain James, this is your last chance. James bows. Yes, Lord Veritas. Fail to conquer HX-108 and I shall personally see to it that you're forced to watch how I'll slit your sister's throat. My eyes grow wide. He's threatening to kill Lana. I understand, Lord Veritas, James says obediently, closing his eyes. He clears his throat and opens his eyes once more. We will conquer HX-108. This time won't end in failure, he announces in a bold voice. Captain Caleb, the same goes for you, says Veritas. Caleb bows as well. Yes, my lord. I understand very well that failure is not an option. Move out, James roars. The soldiers start marching away. One of them pushes me so that I start walking too. I drag my feet over the ground, looking up at the blue sky. I'm going home. Oh no. It's so bright. Alright, I'll do one more. I'll see you in the next one.